Assembly members discussing a petition against an academic's proposals to take Neath station off the main line to London have asked for further assurances from ministers. The petition, launched in April by Plaid Cymru member and activist Bethan Phillips, attracted more than 10,000 signatures. The Welsh Assembly Petitions Committee discussed the petition on Tuesday, June 19 after accepting it on the basis that the proposals by Professor Mark Berry of Cardiff University had arisen from work commissioned by the Welsh Government. Speaking at the committee, AM Mike Hedge said, "I'd like to get a further assurance from the Cabinet Secretary, Ken Skates, in writing that we can pass on to the petitioners and others. We've got here that the government view is that Neath station should be protected and enhanced. I'd like the Cabinet Secretary to confirm that both he and the Welsh Government have no intention of supporting any removal of Neath station from the South Wales main line, and if such a proposal did come up they would actively work against it." Committee Chairman AM David Rowlands reminded members that Mr. Skates had made a statement in the chamber saying Neath station was definitely not going to be coming off the main line. But AM Neil McAvoy responded by saying, "I'm not sure on what authority the Cabinet Secretary can say that because he doesn't have responsibility for main lines. We've had the same categorical statements from other Cabinet Secretaries that the track in Blaenau Gwent was going ahead and so on, and that was nonsense." Declaring an interest on the issue, Mr. McAvoy said Ms. Phillips worked for him. He said, "To defend the petitioners, this is a democratic process and it's good that young people get involved in issues. There were reasons for the petition, and to simply dismiss it as fake news is very disrespectful and not in keeping with the codes of conduct we should all observe." He said the study had been commissioned by an arm's-length government body and with the recommendation that Neath be taken off the main line being made by the eminent transport consultant, Professor Berry, to speed up travelling times to Swansea and London, it needed to be taken seriously. The Assembly member for Neath has criticised a campaign led by Plaid activists over the potential removal of Neath station from the main line to London, saying it was designed to play on people's fears. Speaking after the station petition went before the National Assembly's Petitions Committee on Tuesday, June 19, Jeremy Miles, Labour, said, "I have every sympathy with people who have signed it, believing that there was a plan to take Neath off the rail main line. But the truth is that there was no plan, and I think it is wrong to cause worry for people about something that isn't true." He said the suggestion put forward by Professor Mark Berry of Cardiff University last year to take Neath off the main line was unconnected with government or Network Rail. He said, "I immediately condemned it. By the time the petition was launched a few weeks ago, wrongly claiming that the Welsh Government was considering a plan to take Neath off the main line, it had already been raised in the Assembly." The Transport Secretary Ken Skates stated at the time, "I've listened very carefully and I accept the argument that Neath station and, indeed, many other stations in the area shouldn't just be protected but should be enhanced." This was in response to a question by a Plaid AM, weeks before they launched the petition. The Transport Secretary has subsequently said very clearly, regardless of who recommends what, Neath is staying on the main line. He added, "I have lost count of the times that the First Minister or Cabinet members have said in the Assembly that the government do not support Neath coming off the main line. In fact, they want to enhance services. That is good news, because we do need better services to and from Neath, both on the local services and on mainline services. Neath must also have its fair share of the massive investment in the rail system that will happen as a result of the Welsh Government's rail franchise. Again, that has been confirmed." People will ask, why can't they all work together on this? I work with other parties where that can benefit Neath, but I'm afraid these don't look like the actions of people who want a non-political approach. The petition was launched with a Plaid Cymru leaflet and an online video, which wrongly claimed that the Welsh Government was considering this plan. And when the petition was delivered to the Assembly last week, again it was a small group of Plaid activists and supporters of the AM for South East Wales Neil McAvoy who were there. In fairness, some of the people behind the petition acknowledged that I spoke out against this idea when it was first raised by the academic last year. But I think it's important that campaigns are based on facts and not designed to play on people's fears. The fact is that Neath station is staying on the main line, and it's our job now to bring our communities across the region closer together. Quote, Plaid activists have said there is clear support among politicians to take Neath off the main line, with Swansea Council leader Rob Stewart and the Swansea Labour group of councillors backing the proposal for quicker rail journey times to Cardiff and London. The Plaid campaigners say the issue also appeared on the agenda of a Welsh Affairs Committee at the end of 2017, and in March the Swansea West Labour MP Geraint Davies challenged the Secretary of State for Wales, Aileen Kearns MP, to have the time between Swansea and Cardiff, to which the Secretary of State replied that he would be meeting with Professor Berry, the project's architect. Mr. McAvoy added that the proposal had also been mentioned in the Welsh Affairs Committee and had support from some Labour MPs and a group of Labour councillors in Swansea. He said, whether we support the petition or we don't, I think it was wrong to denigrate the need for the petition because these are people simply standing up for their community. 10,000 people signing it says a lot. The whole purpose of campaigning and doing petitions is to make sure things like this don't happen. Rather than being criticized, they should be praised. The proposal to take Neath off the main line was proposed by Professor Berry as part of his Swansea Bay Metro concept. The campaign by Plaid campaigners to highlight the proposal was heavily criticized by Neath's Labour AM, Jeremy Miles, and the Labour leader of Neath Port Talbot Council, Rob Jones. Mr. Miles has accused the campaigners of scaremongering, saying there were no plans to take the station off the main line and that the Welsh Government had rejected any suggestion of a downgrade for the station. Councillor Jones has called the campaign fake news. Members on the Petitions Committee agreed to ask the Cabinet Secretary if he and the Welsh Government would actively oppose any suggestion of removing Neath station from the main line. AM Janet Finch-Saunders suggested the committee also write to the Welsh Secretary Aileen Kearns and ask for the same commitment. While control over the franchising of rail services in Wales has recently been devolved, responsibility for rail infrastructure remains with the UK government.